Get in the cart.
Right at us.
The best in the business, Roger Cleveland.
Can't wait to get back to Chicago in this one.
This is Party of Fore, a Mistwood Golf Club podcast. It is a packed house for this 4th of July episode. I'm Ben Hutchison alongside Director of Golf Andy Michelson.
I can't wait for this episode, Ben. Really been looking forward to it.
This one's been stewing because we have also starring Scott Hogan.
I am so excited because not only is it's just a grass theme week this week. We got John Deere Classic, golf's 5th major, and we have our next guest.
And we have similar shirts on today, so that's exciting too.
Except you didn't get the memo about blue.
Our guest today is returning to the pod, Superintendent Ben Kellnoffer.
Absolute pleasure to be here, gentlemen.
You've been waiting for this.
I've been waiting for this. I've been excited all morning.
Yeah, it's hot in here now that you're in here. My glasses are fogging up, so I'm going to take those off for a second, let those breathe a little bit. But welcome back.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Well, we have to start with, how are the conditions at Mistwood? Before we really get into things, how's it looking out there for you this time of year?
Not too shabby, Ben. We've had a rough stretch of hot weather, but staff's working hard and just plugging away on a day-to-day basis and just getting it done.
What's your favorite time of season for the golf course?
I think you can probably answer that question, Andy.
I could, but you should answer it. You're sitting here.
It's right after Labor Day.
Yep.
Daytimes, days get shorter. Nighttime temps start to cool off, and a little bit of a break and reprieve from the 90 days of torture that we kind of experience here in June, July, August, and it's been a burner the last 2 or 3 weeks. But the fall, you get a little break, start preparing for aerification season, turf starts to heal. That's the best time of the year.
What's kind of the best way to mitigate or to manage between, having literally browned out areas? I think you guys scientifically call it brown patch in the business, right? Or something like that. How do you get the browned out? How do you prevent from that? But also on the flip side, you never really want like super puffy, yucky, wet, surfaces just to, how do you prevent that in these type of humid conditions?
It's interesting you say that because a lot of people think when it's hot and it's humid that you're just watering like crazy, but when it's humid out, you're watering less because the humidity holds that moisture in there. And 25 years in the business, it's like anything else, experience. Irrigating is an art. It truly is an art, and I think you get better at it as you go. And just little inputs, kind of less is more when the heat is on. And, there's like these really cool moisture meters that we have these days that you can check the volumetric.
Looks like a pogo stick going in. Yeah.
Yeah, and you find your thresholds and you utilize those thresholds and kind of stay within that medium. And in the past 10 years, those have been, technology-wise, a huge help to golf course superintendents and their staff.
As the season changes, how does that change, like watering durations, patterns, times a day when you water?
It's really, honestly, relative to humidity. I mean, in the fall, when the humidity breaks, it's drier, and you're going to find yourself probably watering more because your turf has gone through a pretty tough summer.
Is there times of the day where that changes? Like, or is it usually always at night?
Yeah. I don't think you really don't want to, start irrigation cycles too early in the evening because then that moisture just sets overnight when your humidity levels are the highest. So pushing those irrigation windows back to the early hours of the morning, even through the morning. Like when we get here in the morning, our fairways are still running.
Yeah.
Especially on the back nine, because I don't want to start those things at 9 o'clock at night and have that moisture set there all night. It just turns into a petri dish and brews a lot of different diseases and things like that. So and it's just timing. And profiles have a lot to do with it too. You can get away with a little more of that on the greens because it's sand.
Yeah.
And sand, the water's going to run through the sand a little bit quicker. So,
but
clay, loamy soils is going to hold moisture. So, it's a balancing act. And like I said earlier, I think, you get better with it as you go. So, so my 24th season here. So if I don't have it figured out by now,
Yeah,
I'm doing something wrong.
And, like I've sang the praises on this podcast plenty this year. I think we've had some of the best turf conditions of any course in Chicago, like public or private. And I think we're like really hitting our stride. I mean, it's been great. I mean, that's it.
You can attribute a lot of that to the staff. I've got a staff that's bought in, a staff that understands what we're trying to do, and where all systems go. And those guys are just killing it out there. So,
well, like even here, let's get in the nitty gritty, like the real people that are around Mistwood, right? We used to have kind of those. It felt like those areas where you would have, this part's dry, but this part's wet. This hole is always wet. This one's dry. Like that seems to have gone away the last few years. What has there been changes, or just kind of the maturing of the soil, or the mitigation things that we've been doing with sanding and stuff like that? Is it
absolutely? We walked down this path 2 years ago when we started discussing implementing a top dressing program for our fairways. Those are native soils. They hold moisture, and just starting a top dressing program, which is a big endeavor. There's some investment there, and there's a lot of time that is involved with doing so. But we're 2 years in now, and just getting sand in the top canopy of those fairways and allowing that moisture to move down through the profile has already been very beneficial for us. And I'm glad that everybody bought in and committed to it, and they'll continue to get better because we're going to continue to do it. But top dressing is so key. From tees to greens to fairways. Definitely provides not only better playing conditions, but huge health benefits as well.
Yeah, you notice that too when you play other places and maybe they're not being as aggressive with it. The quality of like the ball mark and things like that. When you hit a green and the ball mark is much deeper and honestly kind of looks like our ball marker. Our ball marks maybe 8-10 years ago, where it was like a deep dirt.
Yep,
and then you're fixing it, and you're like, well, that's going to scar for a while. I mean, you can definitely notice that. Is there any more golf course questions? Because I want to know when to hop off.
Not yet. No, okay. You were very invested in that.
I'm waiting for the. I can ask about my lawn questions.
Well, we can. Hey, let's head over to that, because I might head back to some of the golf course stuff. But lawn? He's got a major question.
So if we're doing lawn, shout out Wimmer Landscaping in Lockport, Illinois. Appreciate you for the last 14 years. I'm checking out. You guys go.
Sponsor of this episode.
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
Unofficial sponsor.
So safe to say, overwatering is the biggest mistake that the amateur agronomist at home could make.
Not necessarily, Scott, because overwatering. Bent grass and bluegrass are two different beasts. Bluegrass is definitely going to require more water, and it's okay to water bluegrass a little heavier than bent grass.
Okay.
But definitely overwatering can be a huge issue, especially in your home lawns when you're talking about summer patch and brown patch and dollar spot, all these fancy diseases that we get in our lawns. But if you are going to water, like I said, timing's everything. Water early in the morning and just let it dry down during the day. Keep the water off it at night, and keep your fingers crossed. Summers are so brutal in the Midwest. So I have lots of discussions with our head pro, Frank, and my lawn's toasty.
I love, so every time Frank's reference on this podcast, it's always in a different voice. It's always
It's usually about his
whether
lawn.
I do it, you do
we all
it,
have our own
he
impersonation.
Yeah. Like everybody's lawn's toasty right now, Frank. It'll be okay.
Well, being now the beginning of July, what can people do to promote healthy lawns through the rest of the summer?
First things first, the most important, raise your mower up to the highest setting. Longer the leaf blade, longer the root. Longer the root, healthier the grass.
I think I know this one, right? What you see above is usually what's going on below. Lengthwise?
Yeah, typically, yeah. I mean, that's the hope. I mean, if you got a 3-inch leaf blade and you got a 3-inch root and it's July, man, you're in good shape.
Doing good. Yeah.
You're doing good. But that's the whole goal. And maybe frequency. Just don't go cut the lawn to cut the lawn.
Yeah.
If you don't need it, don't cut it. Stay off of it. It's a less or more approach this time of year, especially with your home lawn. Get some good quality fertilizer down, some slow release nitrogen, and wait for a few good rains and just be patient. It's not going to die. It's just probably going to go dormant, and it always bounces back. So
that's something that Jack said to me, that brown is not, everybody freaks out with brown,
right.
but it's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. It is not.
I feel like we just provided a lot of value here in the podcast.
Well, I was gonna. So I promised myself I wouldn't talk during the segment, but I am. Aerifying. Mm-hmm. I feel like, isn't it an overrated thing to do if you have a home lawn? Isn't aerification really more of a thing where you have tons of traffic, like a golf course?
I've had this discussion with people many times, and in this case, I think you're right. Bluegrass is, not everybody has like this phenomenal fertilization program where you're growing so much grass that you're producing thatch.
Yeah, that's what
Right.
Right.
For me, I tell people, if you can maybe go out there and aerify every third year, you're probably okay.
Yeah.
I've been in my house, I don't know, 16 years maybe. Yeah, 16 years. I've never aerified one time. Yeah. And I'm on a pretty good fertilizer program, but when I take a soil profile out of there, you're just not accumulating that much thatch and bluegrass. But to each their own. If it makes you feel better, do it. There's no, there's benefits to it. If you want to do it, do it. It's not necessary to do it every year.
Lumpy lawn. Okay. My lawn's getting lumpy.
He really wanted this. He just won't admit it.
Verified.
I know. Well, it's like embarrassingly lumpy. Like people could twist their ankle. What do you do? What do you do in that case? Do you just rip the grass up and relay sod?
No, I actually had a gentleman come to me this spring that a really good friend of mine had the same issue.
I'm killing it this episode, guys.
I sent him to Lowe's to pick up one of them rollers like we have at the Dome.
That's the
roller.
Yeah,
that's the solution.
He bought that roller and he went in March. I sent him out in March when the ground is still soft.
Got it.
Frank did
and
that?
I had him. No,
some guy.
My friend Alan. Shout out to Alan.
Shout out Alan.
I sent him out in March. Happy camper, absolutely.
Camper.
Sent him out in March when the profile and the ground was still moist, and I had him roll it 2 directions, and had some huge benefits for him. And now he's got a roller, and he can continue to do that practice every spring and fall a couple times, and over time. It's the lawn. Nothing's overnight. It's patience.
Yeah.
So when we can't
takes patience and time.
We can't find the green roller in March. It's at Andy's house. Yeah. That's what it is.
No, it's not going to be at my house. I'm going to tell the guys.
I'll tell Wimmer.
Hey, Wimmer, come on over. Roll my lawn.
Yes.
I ain't touching that thing.
Absolutely.
Actually, I'm getting to the age. When's like the appropriate age you think you should start having kids cut the lawn?
I thought you already turned the reins over to Casey earlier this season.
Not yet. He's 13. I mean, I think it's time.
He's ready.
That's more than ready.
Right?
Yeah. He's ready.
Yeah.
Let's get that kid a mower.
Yeah, I need to get him a mower.
Get him a mower.
Yeah.
Do you own a mower? I'm just asking if you own one because you seem pretty convenient on people doing it for you.
The last mower I owned was like a 20-inch Craftsman that I bought for $100.
Nice.
And then sold it in a garage sale. And
so it's time.
I haven't mowed my lawn at my house since 2012. So it's
just one of the joys in life.
It is.
You're missing out on it.
Man.
It's literally been in my budget. No matter how much money I've made over the years, it's been in my budget since 2012.
I was going to text you guys a picture last night.
Speaking of mowers, how have the robot mowers worked out, Ben?
We touched on that in the last podcast.
Come on, Scott.
I apologize. I wasn't
Scott
also
wasn't
starting
there.
yet.
It's good. Hey, just a little update.
You were in the library for that one, and Scott was not here.
Yeah,
he was not here.
It's true.
Quick update. They have been phenomenal. We've collected a lot of great data from them. We've got scheduling all worked out, maintenance of them all worked out. We have implemented them.
They taking the 4th of July off, like scheduling?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
they
take holidays off.
They finished up today. They'll be back on Monday.
Got it. Perfect. Perfect.
But no, they've been great. I think we're at the point now where we can really start looking into implementing them more on the golf course. But
It's bonkers. They haven't cut a golf ball.
so
I've
no,
had no cut
they've
golf
got
balls.
the brush guards on them when you're above.
It's crazy.
When you're above 2 1/4 inches, they just kind of go right over them. Even like a ball in play,
It'll spit it.
because and a lot of times it'll just go right over the top.
Yeah.
Because we've taken them. We started in the driving range, and then we went out and like, well, we've got 3 in close proximity. We've got 9 in close proximity. Let's see if we can get these to reach. And now they're cutting the rough on 3. They're cutting the rough on 9. I watched a robot go right over a player's ball the other day. 2.5 inches, did not touch it. So, yeah, they've been great.
Thing lays lasers too.
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
Lays lasers.
I gave a lesson yesterday, and it was out there, and I was not only was it a good lesson, but I was just so happy during the lesson because I was looking.
You're
out
looking
at it,
right down the laser
like
lines.
right at it. It was so
The
clean.
lines are so good.
It is.
That GPS coordinates is amazing.
Well, that's
Yeah.
very exciting.
Yeah, they've been good. They've been good. I'm
So
excited to move forward with them.
Is that tech evolving? Because I was at a course. I'm not going to name the course. I was at a course that has them, and those things were like hunting us down. They weren't like going in different directions when they're coming
They
at
just-
you. It's like,
They smell fear.
you're in my way. Get out of my way.
Andy's afraid of
Is
the
that like
lawn, so they
specific to
after
the
him.
newer models, or
I've heard
That's
you
right.
talk
Probably
about it.
evolving.
I think that definitely evolving, and I think they'll continue to evolve over the next decade. There's about 3 big companies out there right now, and they all have different GPS systems and in the way that they utilize the mapping, and it's gonna continuously evolve probably for the next decade or so. I think the next big one between the big 3 right now will be what company will provide a solar powered charger station first, a charging station,
yeah,
solar powered. That'll be a game changer, because a lot of golf courses are big and vast, and
yeah.
we don't have the infrastructure from a power standpoint on the golf course. So whoever comes up with those maybe 2-unit solar powered stations, power stations, winner. They're gonna be a big winner, and they'll be leaps and bounds in front of everybody else. And I know for a fact that 2 of the 3 are working on it. So
Yeah.
for us, that is something that we would need to utilize. But that's coming down the pipe. And quality of cut, they're always going to be working on quality of cut, because
Yeah.
if you want your units on a golf course, they
Better be
better
perfect.
cut good.
I
They
did
better cut
see
good.
the first fairway mower too, like fully robotic autonomous fairway mower or something this week too. Is that?
Was it the Firefly?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just driving. It just looks like it has a seat and everything. Like there should be a person in it, but nobody there.
They're pretty awesome. They're pretty expensive.
I could imagine.
And I think at this point, it's really hard to justify the numbers in as far as, how's this going to work out from a monetary standpoint, and, how long do you have to have them for it to really make sense. But everything's heading that direction.
Yeah, I talked about that a few times.
And I think
in
it
this.
just benefits your golf course all around, because it's not, they're, like I said before, they're not meant to replace employees. You literally just take that labor and put it somewhere else, and focus more on the details with your staff, and let those units do a lot of the legwork when it comes to rough and maybe fairways in those large acreage areas. And it's just going to make your golf course better. You're just reallocating that labor somewhere else, and when you can do that, a lot more little stuff gets done, and you just have a better overall product.
Yeah, totally agree with that for sure. Yeah, and when we were in San Diego, I mean that was super apparent. That you walk through, the whole thing is all automated.
That whole show was drones
The
and robots.
whole show, yeah, the whole show.
We're
was
actually using drones to spray now, rather than sprayers.
interesting.
They've got water tanks on them. You put the product in there, and the drones just fly, and you can spray herbicides, whatever. But and that is all GPS as well. So pretty interesting. I haven't quite dove into that yet, but I'm sure we will at some point.
What's a favorite hole out here for you, Ben?
Ben Hutch.
Whether to play it,
I already know this.
whether to play it or just look at it.
All right. Well, a teaser for that. We're going to be filming a Ben's in the Bunker episode. And through that, I've learned that hole 4 is Ben's absolute favorite.
I think I knew that.
4 is my favorite hole. Just architecturally, style of the golf course, long par 4. It's got some guts to it. Visually from that tee, I absolutely love that hole. Play-wise, I'd like to play a lot of holes out here, but I'm not going to lie, 14.
Yeah.
I like playing that hole.
You know, you're totally right. The more I play 14, and it'll be like my 1,000th time playing it, man, you realize that is probably a top 5 par 3 in Chicagoland, let alone maybe anywhere you'll play.
It's
like a perfect design.
It's a good golf hole.
Stinks that the houses are right there. You don't really see them, but like it gives you a place to hit it. Mm-hmm. Gives you the risk, depending on the pin placement. But that bunker that's sitting out there like at 200-ish from that back tee, it never changes. Like that should always be your line. But depending on where the flags are, it kind of suckers you into to changing your aim points.
I walk to that tee every time with 3 clubs in my hand.
Yeah.
Because you're maybe a west wind, maybe a southwest wind. Rarely do we get an east wind, but my goodness, if you do, you might be down to a 6 or 7 iron, you know? At least for me, maybe not you. But
no, you're right.
There's a lot of variability up there. But, I love playing that hole. 8's my nemesis. That hole has owned me since day one. I don't know why. It's got a lot of pars and bogeys there, but I rarely have an opportunity to birdie that thing. And I don't know why.
Well, I mean, we can discuss the back pin placement. It's just bad.
There's one good one back there. Just one.
The shelf one, the middle shelf one on 8's beautiful. I mean, that one's the best.
That middle shelf is still a little too small. I'd like to have a middle. I'd like to have a
totally
middle
agree.
left pin there. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, if it was like 3 like distinct tiers, I think it'd be fine.
For sure. That middle tier is mostly to the right.
Yeah, totally.
Same with 5. 5's that way too.
Yeah, if the middle tier on 5 was wider, that would have been outstanding. I mean, I don't think we've ever had like a middle left pin, or very rarely do we on 5.
No, rarely.
Because there's no space.
Another fun hole to play, 5.
Oh, I totally agree.
Mm-hmm. You hit the green or it's death.
Yeah. And then like the changes we made on 6, I love those. Like where we took down those trees around the tee box. Remember, like they had that huge tree overhanging. You took them on the left. Now more guys hit it in the junk on the right, just because it's now open to them.
We got one more tree to take down on 6T.
The left one, so then we can put a back tee in. Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
I like the way you're thinking.
Yep.
What's the feedback been on the changes to 16, 17 over there?
There's a lot of feedback early on. I mean, member-wise, it doesn't take long for them to get used to things, and they're asking when are we taking down the rest, and that'll be this fall. And that will be wide open at the end of coming into next season. That'll be wide open.
Those greens are both better.
Oh, absolutely.
They're absolutely both better. 16 used to get a little bit kind of ball marked up just because it was hold moisture too long.
It's amazing what air movement and sunlight will do.
Those greens are so much better now. That front pin on 16 is hard because now the ball kind of spits towards the back or the back middle of that green. It's no longer like where it would kind of check up because it was nice and soft in the front. It's tough up there.
So quick note on the difference that you're seeing is, I'm going to get a little scientific here.
Dig deep. We had John on this show.
That green,
it's still spinning from
prior to the cottonwoods coming out on the back, did not get a whole lot of morning sun. So your plant photosynthesizes in the morning with the morning sun. And then once we get, to a certain point to where that temperature rises and it gets warm, the plant's done working. It's like, I'm shutting down for the day. This is crazy. It's hot. I don't want to work. So it shuts down. And that is why the morning sun is so important as opposed to midday or evening sun.
Interesting.
So it's photosynthesizing in the morning and it's working. Then, like I said, it eventually shuts down. So
is that the same way for like plants, like flowers and stuff?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So removing those trees and allowing more morning sun into that green has had huge benefits on 17 as well. So
just learned something.
What if Andy secretly mowed his lawn twice a week and was just very had this beautiful garden at your house?
I secretly like this episode.
Yeah.
I'm fully thinking I'm going to see him out now, like green thumb, like planting flowers and stuff.
I got
no chance.
I had like an aspiration one time to do a garden, and I actually did a little one for a year, but that's gone for a year.
Did you grow one tomato plant, or
it was good too?
Was it?
It was about 4 of them. But I was testing the water, watering sometimes, watering not sometimes, and it was pretty good. I think I put in, I got 4 stalks of corn. Just threw that in just for the heck of it, just for the fun of it. But as you brought that up, I'm thinking it was in a dark corner of my yard, and maybe that's why I struggled a little bit. So, because it was getting midday and late day sun. So
yeah, need that morning sun.
Yeah.
Ben, I saw out in Colorado, it might be called Semena, or it's a herbicide, Semena.
Scimitar?
It was just Semena. That's
just
the way it
looked
looked.
this up this morning.
But no, I saw. So they accidentally put that on the fairway at a golf course, and the whole thing turned brown. Right? It's worst case scenario. They're saying September, probably then they could reseed or whatever they got to do. So bad. They're giving people $10 off the round. So I want to know, what's the worst mistake you've ever made when it comes to groundskeeping, superintendenting?
Oh,
and can you? It doesn't have to be at Mistwood. You could say it was at some other course. But have you ever had a mix-up like that, or where you're like, oh, no?
Not from a chemical
Knock
standpoint.
on wood. I know if something happens, it's my fault.
Knock
But
on
I thought
wood.
this was a good, engaging question.
Oh boy, that's a good one, Ben. I mean, I think I've made plenty of mistakes in my career, but nothing
I got to follow up.
that really had huge adverse effects. Just things you kind of maybe learn from.
I mean, it could have been a machinery issue. It doesn't have to be something on the ground, but yeah.
I don't think no big ones. Lots of little ones that
Good.
you learn from and you get better from. But
All right.
Do you know who you're talking to here?
Yeah.
This is Ben Kellner.
yeah, well, easy.
That's
easy. Now.
It would never match the accolades that he has, for sure.
Scott's looking for some free lawn advice, clearly.
Always.
Come on over. What was your follow-up, Andy?
I'm thinking like, so it's going to be a segue because I'm a professional. You got a place like Oakmont that had, and you were just there, and I've played it. Those green surfaces are as smooth as can be. They're perfect. They're amongst the fastest surfaces. But yet here in the Midwest, people are trying to mitigate those surfaces and just go pure bent grass. What's your feelings on bent and Poena and how those kind of play together?
It really is. It's the environment, I think, in which they're grown in. POA is a cool season grass.
That area is definitely wetter than what we have here.
Yeah, which isn't
Pittsburgh's
always,
a very wet city.
Isn't always good.
Fun fact, I learned that in a Segway tour a few weeks ago. Go
It
ahead.
isn't always good for POA for moisture. POA thrives in the Pacific Northwest where it's cooler and even your northern parts of California. We played on some really good POA greens at
Harding Park.
Harding Park, absolutely. Yeah. It thrives there. It's around here. It's some people.
Fun fact: we walked Harding Park together, 18 holes. It's a nice moment.
Yeah, it was a good day. I tell you what, POA managed correctly is an unbelievable putting surface. And I think in most cases, like at Oakmont, I don't work there. I've had any discussions with anybody there, but what lies beneath those profiles, what that grass is growing on, has a huge part in those greens and how they perform. It's Oakmont, man. They've been doing the same thing for 125 years. They haven't changed much other than, they went through the big tree removal, but I had the opportunity to go. I know you've played it. I've been on a lot of great courses, and I heard you say, you can go to any of the top 100 courses and walk away and say, maybe there's one hole that was a little target golf or one hole that was maybe a little janky, but at Oakmont, there's none of that. There's not 18 good holes at Oakmont. There are 18 great golf holes. The design elements are absolutely insane. The play angles are one of one. Absolutely magnificent golf course all the way around. And TV doesn't give it much justice. It's cool at that course too. It plays that difficult, and there's not a body of water on it.
Yeah.
It's just that those design elements, that design philosophy that Found's used, and even when they're not playing the Open, I think they run that rough at about 3 inches.
Yeah.
So it's just
that's
who they are, and they've always been that.
The greens run 13 plus, 14
absolutely,
plus.
Absolutely.
So when I did play it, there was a grounds guy just kind of hanging out, and I asked him, I said, like, what's your daily procedures for the greens? And I thought this was absurd. Cut, brush, cut, roll.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
So cut, full brush, cut again, then roll every day.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a top tier private club. They have they have the time and the means to do that.
Yep.
So kudos to them. I was absolutely blown away. I'm not kidding. That third hole and that ninth hole are two of the best golf holes I've ever seen in my life. That third hole, just the whole setup of it. Your landing areas jammed between, bunkers to the right, the church pews to the left, and it's the whole landing area is on this huge uphill
it's
climb.
like a weird,
and then
shelfy.
you got kind of a blind shot, and as you're rolling up to the green, everything just peels left, and it's just such a great golf hole. And 9, I've never played it, but that might be one of the hardest golf holes.
I was going to say, don't you think 9 looks
Wow.
9 plays and it looks way harder than 18.
Yeah, that is a really, really good golf hole.
It does look like they narrowed up 18. Like when they showed it from behind the player too, it looks like they've narrowed up 18 a little bit over the years.
A little bit.
Yeah. And then what do they call them? The kind of grassy, hazardy areas that they have.
It's just like natives.
Yeah, it's just kind of like they have a certain name for it or something like that. But those definitely come into play on some of those holes for sure.
Yeah, so mostly it's.
Man, I'm just getting blown up.
Yeah, you're getting tons of phone calls. Perfect time for a transition and a reminder that the Seltzer Showdown is on July 17th at Mistwood Golf Club. So get your tickets. You can head to McWethy'sTavern.com, upcoming events, and make sure you're there. This is the final showdown.
How is that a segue?
Because now we're going to move on to the John Deere Classic.
From Oakmont
to the
TPC
John Deere
Seltzer.
Classic.
Wow.
And our guy, Luke Clanton, is in the field.
He is.
And
Professional.
our guy, Scott Hogan, will be there.
I will.
When are you going tomorrow?
I'm going round 1. Got to get there. You got to, I feel like it's the last chance to see some of these guys before they're relegated down or they have to join Live or something like that.
KF Tour.
Yeah, we got Homa and Fowler early paired together. So
There's another
Go see
surprise in
them.
that field. Is Spieth back?
no, I don't think he's back yet from his injury. Highest ranked player is Ben Griffin.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
He's the favorite. He is
at
the favorite.
17. He's 17th ranked. Homa's down to 99 in the world. So, yeah, that's rumor is he's going back to he's new coach, but going back to what he worked on with the old coach. So that makes sense. But we're gonna go see this in action. And but it's a great course. It's a great tournament. You've been out there, yeah?
Oh yeah,
It's actually a really fun tournament there. Yeah,
I think that course is awesome.
yeah, it's
Awesome.
You can birdie every hole there. You can make double on every hole there.
Oh, shout out where we just went with the members, Fire Lake.
Yeah,
Fire Lake TPC Deer Run is a must.
Yep.
Do that.
Yep.
Do that. When you went out to Fire a few years ago?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've played TPC Deer Run too.
Yeah.
That course can be enjoyed by any level of golfer. Deer Run.
Give me TPC Deer Run every day over Dubs Dread.
For sure.
And I like Dubs Dread.
Yeah,
TPC Deer Run
great
is
golf
one
course.
of my favorites.
Yep.
One of my favorites. It's like there's some hard holes. There's some holes that aren't so hard. Presentation's perfect. I think the way that, that's hard to believe. That was D.A. Wybring's first shot at designing a golf course. And then the second
job.
Yeah, the second golf course he designed was ISU, which is also phenomenal. That went from a dump to now being one of the better college courses.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's done a pretty good job at both.
Is your guy playing this weekend?
no,
Oh, just didn't want to make the trip.
we got. I saw on Instagram he's in Sweden. He's in Sweden.
We got
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh
in Sweden.
Oh, taking some time before the British.
Yeah, I think he's going Scottish and then the British. So now we just get to enjoy the golf and not sweat it out with my boy and
Okay.
his struggles. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. It'll be fun. It's always fun. They bring the whole community feel.
Who's your guy?
a
Who's
good
your
tournament.
favorite? Ben?
Golfer wise,
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a specific favorite. I love
Like he's a Lucas Glover guy.
I love Aberg, young guy,
That's
I
great.
knew I
that's
loved
Scott's
you.
guy, man.
great, good looking golf swing.
What are we between right here?
The library and the log cabin. Get it?
I think that he's got. I think he's got great future. He's got some potential. Bigger guy, good golf swing. I don't know. And then there's the
Just cut it. That's it.
You just talked about you're surprised by some of the kind of how far some of the guys have slipped. Like you brought up Ricky Fowler as we were walking in here.
yeah. Where did he go? It seemed like he used to compete on a weekly basis, and every now and again, now you see these glimpses of, maybe he's going to be there, and then
Hot.
I feel like that's been the whole friend group, man.
Yeah.
That's been that whole
right?
friend group.
Yeah, Smiley doesn't play
Yeah.
golf anymore.
Hot take on Ricky. I think he can't see. Like he literally can't see. Like
Physically?
because he wears the glasses now, right? He
Yeah.
always wears glasses.
Yeah.
He seems more confused by reads and what putts are doing than anybody. He always hits putts and he's
He
like,
used to be amazing.
yeah, and
Like he was like Spieth 2 from 10, 15 feet.
as somebody else that can't see at all, like even with glasses, like it's a little tricky to see some definition stuff sometimes. And
Interesting.
I don't know. That's just a hot take. I have no reason to believe it, but he has these good rounds. He'll play 2 or 3 good rounds, but he can't put 4 together.
Yeah.
That's his problem.
Well, when Duval kind of dropped off that cliff and we didn't hear much from him, like no one knew he had like problems with vertigo. Mm-hmm. And that came out like way after the fact, which, like I know people that have had issues with vertigo. It's like having like 12 beers in you instantly. It's like you're completely disoriented. So that'd be impossible to be able to play golf.
well, Jason Day dealt with that as well, didn't he?
Oh, Jason Day's going to be there this week.
He's
too.
one of the favorites as well this weekend.
Yeah.
He dealt with some vertigo as
Yeah,
well.
I think you're right.
I'm going to try to get some up close short game look at Jason Day there. That's a good one to watch.
What do you like about that? What do you
Jason
like about
Day?
that move? Yeah.
He's just good. So,
No, like short. Well, of course, but short game wise,
he's definitely the wide arc guy, right? Very wide.
wide arc, not a whole lot of
Not a
wrist
lot of hinge,
set.
a lot of turn.
Yep.
So, I think for most people, that's pretty manageable. Something that would be pretty low maintenance, if I would think so.
What technique do you like better? Would you let's say like a person like me that likes to use their hands a little bit? Would you customize it to the person, or would you? Okay,
I think it customized to the person and their ability to handle the situation.
yeah,
So somebody that's like a little more nervy, hey, things get a little weird. You probably want to get the hands out of it a little more, and somebody that can handle it a little bit more. I think it depends on how much they see shots too. If you're seeing a bunch of variety of shots, then you need probably more hands.
Yeah.
And Jason Day plays a variety of shots, but probably not as many as you would see some of these other guys that are playing.
How's your short game?
I practice it every day.
Yeah.
It could be.
Chip it pretty good?
Yeah, I chip it
I think you
pretty
chip
good.
it pretty good. I've seen you.
Chip it good. My struggles are with iron play, but, I'm handsy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you cut my hands off, I'd probably be a better golfer.
Me and you both.
Should anchor, see if there's like an anchor.
You know my game. I get around all right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
but
get around fine.
yeah, short game's pretty good. I get the opportunity to do some chipping and putting every day, and that's kind of how I evaluate.
What was
playing
what was
conditions
you at your best? About a 4 or 5 handicap?
Yeah, in my mid-20s.
Yeah.
About a 5 handicap, yeah.
You're still pretll pretty good. You're
Probably
sub
somewhere,
10.
maybe 10, 12, somewhere in there. I don't know. 10's a good safe number.
Yeah.
It seemed like with every kid, my handicap rose about 2 or 3.
fair.
So 5 to 7 to 10.
I'm
I'm seeing some rejuvenated dedication though.
Yes.
a little bit.
Trust me, I enjoy playing.
A little bit, yeah.
And it's great having you guys around because, I mean, if I need to work on my short game, I know where
Hogan,
I know where I'm
you've
going.
given him a few drive-bys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you see?
We rendezvous
I see
this morning.
talent. I just see pure raw talent. That's what
I see
got.
pride. I see power.
I see God-given natural ability that
Need to,
he can just get out there. He's the easiest lesson. You literally walk in for 3 minutes and you just tell him what to do, and he's like, "All right, got it." And then next day you hear about it, and man, that worked. It's like, I don't even remember what I told you, but
it's like anything else, practice. That's where I find the time to play, but I need to find more time to practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
What's your okay? This is a good one. It's a good one, everybody. What's the best shot you've ever hit that no one was around to see as you're preparing the golf course in the morning? Because I know you carry a club around all the time. You ever hit a hole in one?
That is
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So 17.
Yeah.
All right. Back left pin down on the ball.
Nice.
About $130.
Yeah.
Drop a ball on the tee. Smash a 9-iron. Hits in the middle of the green. Rolls down. Goes in. I lose it. Nobody around. It was a one-man celebration. One-man celebration. And I've done that twice. 2 times I've done that on the same hole.
On 17?
Yep, a back left pin and then a front pin.
I'm sure you try it now almost all the time.
Well, you'd think that I would try to record, and I never remember to
So back left, what was the other one?
just front.
Front.
I've done that 2 times with nobody around.
Wow.
But first time I golfed Mistwood with my dad. We were playing the blues for Dad, and I rose to drive out there. I probably got I don't know, maybe 215. And I'm not a long hitter. I'm a straight hitter, but I'm not a long hitter.
On which hole?
15.
15. Yep.
So I get up to my ball, grab 3-wood, smooth the 3-wood up there, hits in the approach, middle pin, rolls in for 2.
Me too. I have a 2 on 15.
Yep, that was probably my best in-game witness shot, even more so than the 2. I've got 2 hole-in-ones, so
Yeah.
that shot on 15 was much more impressive than.
Yeah. There's people there.
I seen a 3-wood from 235 at Briarwood by Andy Michelson one time. That was
It was into the wind. 235 doesn't sound that impressive. It was into
the
a
wind.
really good wind.
Yeah, but it was
Sounds
all
necky.
carry. It was all carry. It was all carry. That it didn't go in, but that was one of the best golf shots I've ever seen in my life.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, and we made the
I have
putt.
no hole-in-ones at Mistwood.
Really.
0.
Everybody,
There's 6. but I have-
Everybody else does.
Yeah.
For as many times as you played it, I mean,
Yeah.
Come on, Andy.
It's literally probably 1,000 times. And I have 0 hole-in-ones at Mistwood. Pretty wild.
That is wild.
Yeah.
me either, Andy.
me neither too.
I came within 6 inches one time on 7. It actually hit the path, bounced onto the green, and nestled next to the
I
hole.
will say the hole I would not want to do it on a 7 because you don't get to
see
probably
it.
wouldn't see it go in.
I witnessed 2 last year.
Yeah.
Jim Hively on 7.
Yeah.
Cool. And then I can't remember the individual's name. I don't think he's a member, but another one on 17.
Yeah.
Just doing my daily routine.
I'm trying to think how many I witnessed. Paul DeGeese made one maybe 7 or 8 years ago in a Founders Cup. And it took this one, it was screaming straight downwind on 7. It took this one big bounce, and it was kind of fun. It was 1 and then just donk. Just slammed on the second one. But, well, great story, Andy. Thanks a lot.
14 would be a fun one to get it on.
Oh, 14
Just
would be
seeing it.
super cool. Super cool.
I just, like to be dry there.
How many balls are in the water there? People always ask me. And I said all of them.
Yeah.
Tens of thousands. I'm not joking. There's tens of thousands of balls down there.
How many times have you gone swimming in the lake?
Thousands?
Not thousands, but quite a few.
It's clean.
Oh, it's unbelievably pure water.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little high in pH, but it's
Should we have
really
some
good water.
swimming competitions or anything out there?
It's probably too much liability.
That's no fun. I've always wanted to do kayaks in there.
I've done that.
I think kayaks would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kayaks are fun. Take a little fishing pole with you and have the fish pull you around.
100%.
Andy still wants to build Kelpie's Island.
The bar?
The bar
Oh,
there.
It would kill it. It would absolutely murder it.
People would get in the
work
way,
with a bunch
though.
of people that don't want to be visionaries.
Maybe that-
so,
maybe
Get in the way
whatever.
on 8 there. Everyone
Just,
would be walking across. And
maybe
When
that's
when
where-
you're stifled, when you're visionary and you're stifled, it just doesn't work out, Ben. I mean, it's just an absolute vision that could really take this place to the next level, but whatever.
I don't know if a bar is the answer, but that's where the overnight cabin could be.
Anything.
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 a single cabin.
You don't think that these would sell, these haunted houses we have across the street? This being
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I mean,
I think the haunted house could be an attraction, too, certain times of the year. The one house with the dolls in the basement?
Podcast studio is not in that house.
It is not. It's in the other house.
I did not like them dolls.
It's what, describe the first time walking.
People don't know what you're talking about, but
We own the houses across the
there
street.
might be a house on property, and there were dolls in it.
There were dolls everywhere.
Did they
Everywhere.
Did they all have eyes and stuff still?
Just looking at
Scott,
you.
I'll be honest with you. It was like, you go into a house and there's that picture of Jesus. No matter where you move throughout the house, those eyes
like follow
just
you.
kind of follow you. That's how it is with the dolls. And I don't like the dolls. And I went in the basement and there were dolls everywhere. And I'm like, I'm out of here. I go upstairs in the attic. There's dolls everywhere. And I'm like, what's going on? It's just creepy. Some people don't like clowns. Some people don't like dolls. I don't like dolls. So I've maybe been in that house 2 times since.
I've never been in the basement after you guys told me there's a bunch of dolls down there.
No. It's just got a weird energy and it's just an eerie place. I'm out.
Perfect.
On that note,
Yeah, on that note, we're gonna wrap up
let's
soon.
segue.
No, let's do picks. Let's do picks.
Oh.
Let's do picks for the deer. What do we got?
I did not prepare for picks.
I'm taking Ricky Fowler.
I'm taking Griffin.
okay, I'm going home. I just feel a resurgence.
You're like the most anti-existence of Homa in his game.
I actually really like Homa, but
he would not like our podcast.
I'm just so disappointed in where it's gone.
I'm gonna guess Brian Harmon has slipped into that field. Probably.
I think he's too big time for it now. No. Yeah, although it's like Brian Harmon Central.
Brian Harmon would be perfect.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to know some names if you're trying to pick somebody.
Yeah.
Here's my take on Homa, and tell me what you think. I feel like sometimes that Max is just going through the motions.
I think he's trying to look like he's going through the motions. I think he really naturally is kind of out there and wants to get a little more wild, but probably realizes it doesn't help him. It doesn't really help him.
Gotcha.
So he's trying to stay calm. He's trying to pull a Scheffler out there and be calm and all that. And I don't know.
Harmon's got to be playing. He won. He won in 14 at the Deer.
He did.
That's 11 years ago.
This is way different now.
Yeah.
It is. I looked at the field and what about Jason Day? Or I'd love to see Ricky win. I'd just love to see.
we
Ricky
usually
win.
see a William
for old time's
Mao,
sake.
like a William Mao sighting or something here at this one. So, yeah. Go with Luke. I think Luke has a good, and this is a Luke, Spieth got started here. So let's see Luke do it.
Brian Harmon's definitely going to be in the field.
Oh, that's where we're at still?
Yeah.
Still on him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still on him.
Gotcha.
Still
We'll
on him.
we'll just wait.
Yeah.
Luke finished second in his 2024
Yeah.
season.
I think Luke Clanton is a very, very good pick. What was he, second? Was it last year or 2 years ago?
It's
Was it last year?
It was on his rise. Yeah.
Was it really? Wow, I thought that was 2 years ago.
I thought it said 2024.
You're probably right.
Thanks. Who you got, Ben?
You throw some energy in this thing? Come on.
Fowler.
Let's go.
I'll just take Ricky. We were talking about him earlier.
All right.
You know,
right.
maybe a little resurgence this week.
So Ricky, Clanton.
Griffin or Day?
Homa. I'm going Homa.
Homa.
I'm
Why?
willing. Resurgence. I believe in the comeback
You just
story.
said he was KF tour.
I mean, that's the realist side of me.
That's probably the right side of you.
No, can't. Just can't.
There'll be lots of birdies. I do know that.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
Which always amazes me. I guess they do get that place firm enough where it runs out pretty good. But yeah, that's tons of birdies at that place. Tons and tons.
They make the birdies pretty accessible, though. You know, the pin placements aren't outrageous.
Those greens are
They
flat.
set it up to score. They set it up to score.
Yeah, the greens are fairly flat. It seems like the only hole that really gives them trouble is like 12, that long par 3, and 9.
Or 3.
The one that's the terrible fairway.
Yeah.
Oh, the par 3?
3 up the hill.
Yeah, that's a goofy. That's a goofy hole.
Is that the fairway that just
Again, great golf
rolls
course,
away?
goofy hole.
That was
3's the one that's straight up the hill.
straight up the hill?
Yeah, par 3, where you can either kind of tee it up over here and it's kind of uphill, or you tee it up at the bottom and you're just hitting like 2 clubs more and it's straight uphill. And you can barely see the tip of the flag.
and they got the 20-foot flag.
Yeah,
They always have the
yeah,
tall
yeah.
flag.
Yeah, so you can barely basically see the flag.
Well, I'm going to try to spice up my golf game before the next podcast. I'm going to try to get fitted, guys, for driver and irons. So then I can accept any invitation Andy gives me to a nice, fancy golf course.
Which you won't come, but is there a nice?
Invite me.
Is there a sponsor anymore, or is this an open bag deal?
I'm
be
no
steered
longer a sponsored athlete. There was limited movement on that,
There
so
wasn't a refresh,
I've decided to go open bag at this point.
and then bag, open bag and bag.
He's seeing what deals come in.
Yeah, I mean, and
Seeing what's
then
out
I'm
there.
willing to accept, pretty much anything. So
Okay,
All right.
that's fair.
I've been sponsored lately by Andy Michelson's Basement.
It's a good place to be.
Yep.
It's a great place.
It's
to
an
be.
open invitation to come on over. Open invitation to come on over and
A lot less
pick
doll.
whatever you
no
want.
dolls there.
Yeah,
No
no
dolls
dolls
in
in my
that
basement. Just a lot of golf clubs.
All right, well, Ben, thanks for joining us on this episode.
Thanks for having me, gentlemen.
It was a ton of fun.
It's so good. That was grass, turf, John Deere Classic.
I think I added context as well. I didn't think I was even going to participate.
You were the
in this
star
one.
of this.
I didn't think I was
Absolutely.
participating.
The star.
It is always an educational opportunity, and I think we all delivered today. Thank you.
You got it.
And we will see all of you on the next episode.
Get in the cart.
Right at us.
The best in the business, Roger Cleveland.
Can't wait to get back to Chicago in this one.
This is Party of Four, a Mistwood Golf Club podcast.